We should all come to terms with this that everything coexists.
Yeah.
You can't keep comparing that television ऐसा है या films ऐसी हैं या OTT ऐसा है. Television has given me a lot. You know, if I'm here today, it is because I started from television, and I could afford to take that break and think of moving into films and trying for films was because of television. I'm enjoying this space of OTT and films. So I kind of feel that it's a long commitment when you're in television, and it's not a finite commitment. You don't know when the show will get over. The script keeps changing as per the audience's reactions and the TRPs, and that's too much of a commitment when I am in this space where I'm getting to play different characters, different roles. In 1 year, you're getting into different skins, getting out, trying to do something else.
Your celebrity crush?
It could be anybody, right? So I would say Priyanka Chopra, since ever.
Hello and welcome to News 18 Showsha. I am Chirag, Sehgal, and joining me today is an actor who has ruled it all, from television to Bollywood and OTT. Please welcome Nandish Singh Sandhu. Thank you so much, Nandish, for joining us. How are you?
Thank you, Chirag. Thank you for all the kind words.
Welcome to Delhi.
Hey, it's always good to be in Delhi. It's brilliant to be in Delhi because bachpan se, I've been traveling to Delhi and I have a lot of people here, a lot of friends and family here. So yeah, it's always good to be here.
But what are you shooting for in Delhi this time?
That I will be only be able to tell you once we are allowed to speak about it. But it's a web series. That's all I can tell you right now.
But we have heard from somewhere that you have also signed a movie with Jacqueline. How true is that?
I have no idea about that right now.
Are the rumors untrue?
I think rumors are supposed to be rumors. I think we should leave it at that.
Yeah. But Nandish, after so many years in the industry, when you sign a project, is there a criteria which you look for?
Criteria in the sense for
like what do you look for a project when you sign it?
It's about everything. It's first thing is the story. First thing is how the story is flowing. Is it resonating with you? Then it's the character, of course, which the character that you're playing. How impactful is the character? How necessary is it for the story? What difference would it make? What impact would it have on all the other characters in the story? Is it something which is challenging or not? For me, that is important. I don't know how others look at it, but for me, it is extremely important to see how challenging it is and how it would kind of make me, when people think about Nandish as an actor, how it would kind of add to my profile, how it would kind of make it different from all the previous work that I've done. And there has to be something unique in it for me to be able to say and speak about it. And it has to be challenging because while I was doing television, this was a major issue that everybody would see me in similar, like what I did in Uttaran or the shows before that, everybody would just put me in that same kind of bracket and cast me for that. So now I try, it's not in my hands, but I try to kind of break that and do different things.
Your recent release, Jubilee, it received an overwhelming response from the audience, especially your character Jamshed Khan. Was it overwhelming for you?
It was, absolutely, without a doubt it was, because when we were shooting for the project, we knew it is big. We knew that it is something which is going to be extremely different from what people have seen in that era, the golden era, and the characters, how they were planned and how they were sketched out. But no way, nobody, I'm not talking about myself, I can speak on everybody's behalf, nobody knew that it is going to land like this and be received like this. It's been overwhelming for everybody, in every sense. And for all the departments to kind of receive this kind of love, every department, you talk about any department in filmmaking, everybody has been appreciated. And we also knew that the industry, the fraternity is really going to like it. The serious film watchers are going to like it. But the Aam Janta to give so much love, it's this unprecedented.
But how did you land for the role in Jubilee?
Audition.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's no other way. Just auditioned for it. I got a call from Casting Bray from Anmol's team, and I auditioned for it in 2019 end sometime, and this was just before the pandemic. The pandemic had started in 2019 end sometime, and gave the first round of auditions. Then I had then it was my mom's birthday, I remember, in Feb 2020, so I went to my hometown to celebrate her birthday. And while I was there, I got a call for the second round of audition. They said, and I forgot about it because it had been almost over 2 months by then. I think in December sometime I tested for it in 2019. Then after 2 months I got a call. So I thought, it didn't work out. And then they said, we want to test you for the second round. I said, okay, I'll come back and do it. So that was done once I went back to Bombay. And after the second round also, I think it took quite a few days for them to get back to me, because I think they were, kind of shortlisting people and seeing everything. And I'm sure Vikram was also going through all the auditions and, the entire team. So all that was going on. And then I was called for a look test. They wanted to see me in the attire, in the costumes and everything. And then it was finalized after that.
But like you mentioned that you auditioned for the role. After, like when you have already done plenty of work in the industry and somebody asks you to audition for a role, do you feel hesitant towards it? Because one may be like, yeah, मैंने already इतना काम किया है, why don't you look at it?
No, see, it all depends on project to project. It all depends on what is required. It's not only about, the biggest of stars audition also for projects, and there's no shame in doing it. If you're going to be doing something which I've already done. Now, if somebody asks me to play somebody like Jamshed, or somebody asks me to play something like Super 30, or any of my other projects, they can go back and refer to my work. But if it is something which is completely drastically different from what I've done before, it is always good to do it. It's kind of reassuring for me also that I'll be able to pull off the character. It kind of gives me that confidence. And of course, it's important for the makers also to see. So I think it's fair for everybody to kind of audition and let the makers also have a fair chance of seeing you, because they're also seeing so many people, and they're skeptical which one would fit perfectly. So I think it's a good thing. It's a win-win for everybody.
Nandish, like generally we will say that it's not easy to break away from the TV wala image, but you, as like one of the exceptions we have seen, is you're one of the exceptions who have done it all. TV, Super 30, like you mentioned, Bollywood, and now OTT also. What was your mantra to break away from each of these?
The only mantra is there is no mantra, buddy. There is no mantra. There is no rule to it. There is no mantra to it. It is only your gut feeling. And I go completely as per my gut feeling. As my instinct tells me to do, I do that. And I think that is the only thing that has kept me going. And that is the only reason why I could survive that break which I took after television for almost 2 years. It was a little over 2 years, because I did my last non-fiction show on television in 2015, Khatron Ke Khiladi. And after that, I thought I'm going to take a break. And 16 and 17, I didn't have any work. No work at all. And the only reason I could survive for such a long period is because my gut, whenever I felt like, whenever there was a weak moment and I felt, okay, no, I think it might be the right decision, might not be the right decision. Whether should I do some more television and again take a break? Is it too long a break that people will forget me? All those thoughts used to come in my head. But the only thing that kept me going was my gut feeling. That, okay, no, you're doing it right, and the excitement of getting up every day and kind of trying to get a good part in a good film. So it was always my instinct, and that's the only mantra, I believe.
Like you mentioned, for 2 years without work, it's a long period of time. As an actor, during those 2 years, kabhi aisa laga wo dar ki yaar, if I am not on screen now, maybe people will forget me?
That worked in my favor. I had that fear, but people forgetting me worked in my favor.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. I think because when they saw me in Super 30, they could accept me as Pranav Kumar, and they forgot about Nandish, which worked for me.
So that break also was a conscious decision.
That break was a conscious decision, yes, but not for so long. I didn't think that I'm going to take a break and be without work for 2 years. I thought maybe it'll be 6 months, a year maybe, and I will land a good film during that time. I will get a good opportunity. Some opportunities came my way as well during that time, but I wanted something which would leave an impact, which I wanted to surprise. I wanted that surprise element for my audience. And that wasn't coming. Again, the films which were coming, they were mostly as per my television image.
Yeah.
A good-looking businessman in suit, and the typical thing which I had done on television. That used to keep coming back to me, and I didn't want that. And that was the only thing I was clear about. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I had no idea what kind of film. But the only thing I knew is this is what I don't want. And then I think it was fate and luck, and opportunity just came in the form of Super 30, and that just changed everything.
But was you also told about taking a break to break away from the TV wala image?
No, I had no mentor. So nobody told me anything. It was just, as I said, it was just as per my gut feeling. In fact, people told me that you're not doing the right thing. A lot of my friends as in not close friends, people that you meet, your colleagues, and you generally meet people. And so they kept telling me that, Nandish, we don't think that you're doing the right thing. You shouldn't be away from screen for so long. People will forget you. And that used to bother me. That used to I used to get, at times I used to kind of get convinced as well. And that's when those weak moments used to come, when you go back and think, yaar, aaj bhi isne bol diya. And maybe I'm not seeing what people can see. But it just, I don't know, it just worked in my favor.
But what kept you mentally and emotionally strong during that time?
Everything. Everything. Like I said, there's not one thing alone which kept me going. I think it was just that junoon of, I believe that it's very important to stay in that uncomfortable zone, on the edge. That's the kind of person I am. If I'm pushed and if I'm on the edge, I perform better. The moment I'm in my comfort zone, I kind to relax. And which I think happens with a lot of people. So I always try and keep things slightly on the edge, and take risks, keep things on the edge, keep myself going by staying in that uncomfortable zone, because then I know that I have to push harder. And I think that uncomfortable zone during that time there was everything. Work was not happening, and you're not in the best frame of mind when work is not happening. Financially, you're staying in a city like Mumbai, which is extremely expensive. To be able to survive there, you need incoming of money as well. It's not that you make so much money and you can sit on that money for so long. You eat out of your savings. So all those pressures were there. Plus, your parents want ask you questions. Your friends kind of ask you, what are you doing? Your parents tell you that, why are you sitting at home? You're not shooting now. Why don't you take up something? So all these pressures were there, but at the end of the day, it's only that you want to do something different, and you're convinced about it, and your gut feeling again that just kept me going.
But were there financial struggles also during that time?
Yeah, of course. Financial struggles, but not in the sense that you think of leaving the city and going back. Not those kinds, thankfully, because I had saved money, and that that decision to kind of take a break, which I thought would be about 6 months or a year, that got stretched to 2 years. So my savings were, my planning was as per 1 year, but it got extended by almost the double amount of months, and that was difficult. To be, you need to kind of stay in the city. You need to do your trainings. You need to a prep for whatever roles you want to do in the future. So all that kind of got affected, and certain compromises need to be made there. Okay, you save money from here, you save money from here, and then you prioritize. And if you want to save money from some place and put it in your training class, you kind of save money and put it for your training, your workouts and your dance training and whatever different things an actor does. So yeah, all those adjustments had to be made.
But Nandish, is staying away from television also a very conscious decision?
Now?
Yeah.
Yes, that I've already spoken about so many times. That is because I'm enjoying the space of OTT and films. So I kind of feel that it's a long commitment when you're in television, and it's not a finite commitment. You don't know when the show will get over. The script keeps changing as per the audience's reactions and the TRPs, and that's too much of a commitment when I am in this space where I'm getting to play different characters, different roles. In 1 year, you're getting into different skins, getting out, trying to do something else. Like I said, I like staying in that uncomfortable zone. I like challenges, and this challenges me to kind of do different things. When I was doing television, and even now, if I do television, I know that I would be playing a role for a long period of time. There's going to be immense popularity. There's going to be great money, but the challenge, that excitement, gets compromised for me.
So the work-life balance is also comparatively easier when you work for a film or an OTT project?
Work-life balance, as in you talking about personal life?
Yes.
No, I don't think so. It's equal amount of hard work. In fact, sometimes it's more, because you're prepping for different characters, which really, emotionally drains you. And it's not easy to kind of get out of a character and prep for a different character, get into that space, and then start the process all over again. In fact, in television, working hours are longer. So physically, you are more, stressed out. You're more tired physically. But when you're trying to prep for different roles and get into different characters, I think mentally it's more tiring.
But in the recent times, we have seen this narrative that television content has become regressive. Okay. As somebody who has also been a part of that industry, do you think television content जो है इतने सालों में progress नहीं कर पाया?
यार उसका अपना audience है. I think we should all come to terms with this, that everything coexists. You can't keep comparing that television ऐसा है या films ऐसी हैं या OTT ऐसा है. Television has given me a lot. You know, if I'm here today, it is because I started from television, and I could afford to take that break and think of moving into films. And trying for films was because of television. So it's, I can't say that television content is regressive and this is better, that is better. All mediums have their own pros and cons, and I think we should accept the fact that they all coexist. There's an audience for everything. On OTT, there's so much content being made, so many different things being done, and people watch everything. There's free content, there's paid content, then there is Netflix, which is slightly expensive for everybody because they charge a premium price. Then there is OTTs like Jio Cinema now, which is free, but people are watching everything. Everybody has their own audience. So I think television is in that space where it is, and we cannot compare it to what is happening on OTT and films on television. But we also need to understand that there is an audience for that. That's why they're doing it. Unless you have a customer, why would you make a product?
Yeah. Before we wrap up, we have a small segment for you. Okay. It's a rapid fire round called 18 Questions with News 18.
Okay.
So let's begin with that.
Yeah.
Your favorite street food?
Chaat.
One thing you cannot live without?
Sweets.
One habit of yours, it's bad but you can't change it?
I would say sweets. Then one thing I can't live without would be, I think, my gadgets. Then we'll change that.
Yeah. Your fitness mantra?
Eat everything, burn it out.
Junk food or diet food?
Balance it out.
One beauty hack you follow?
Sunscreen.
Guilty pleasure?
Again, sweets, and I know I crave for sweets, but I also think I would, specifically if you talk about chocolates.
Yeah. Your celebrity crush?
It could be anybody, right? So I would say Priyanka Chopra, since ever.
Yeah. Movie night or dinner date?
Movie night.
Last movie or show you watched?
Last show that I watched was The Hard.
One actor you want to work with?
A lot of them, yeah. I have a long list, but yes, one, if you ask me, would be Will Smith.
One project you denied but later on regretted it?
Never. Never.
One movie or web show you want to be a part of?
I think I really liked Kala, and I would have loved to be a part of that. And web show would be Arya.
Yeah. Last person you dialed?
Last person I dialed would be Vishal Dhingra, my best friend.
Last person you video called?
Last person I video called would be my niece Kiara today morning.
Yeah. One useless application in your phone?
Lots of them. There's so many of them. I think there are so many editing apps that I keep downloading to kind of see, and I never end up using it.
Yeah.
And there is one thing that I have not been able to log in, is Digi Yatra, which I've not figured out till now how to log into that.
Big Boss or not?
As in to watch or to be a part of?
To be a part of.
No.
And lastly, your life mantra?
My life mantra, I told you in the beginning, there is no mantra. Go by your gut feeling, your instinct, follow your instinct. And that has always been my life mantra. Be on the edge all the time.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Nandish, for joining us. Lovely talking to you. All the way.
Thank you, Chirag. Hi, this is Nandish Singh Sandhu, and you're watching me on News 18 Showsha. Like, share, subscribe.